This is a presentation of Welcome Malala, where we bring you fun and informative videos from within our community. In today's episode, Malala welcomes Ken Fetters of the main shop Malala, who's going to show us how to build a cardboard castle.
Hello everybody, my name is Ken Fetters from the main shop in Malala. Today we're going to be doing a cardboard castle demonstration, which will result in a cardboard castle competition. I'd like to start off by thanking Jeff Roth from Custom Box Service, who donated all the cardboard for this event. So we have 34-inch by 24-inch sheets of cardboard, which are donated by Custom Box Services, that we're going to be handing out to people, or people can pick up to make any kind of cardboard castle that they want. So a little information about cardboard. The cardboard we're giving you is called single wall cardboard. It's corrugated in a certain direction, and that direction is the best direction to do any rolling or curving of the cardboard. And as you're building your cardboard castle, always keep in mind what direction the corrugation is going. And sometimes, if the bending is hard, or if you want to make a really tight bend, you can spray the cardboard with some water on either side and let it soak for a period of time. And as the paper softens up, it becomes easier to bend the cardboard. Some of the tools that you're going to be using are a pair of scissors, a knife, a razor blade, some sort of dull knife like a butter knife to use for scoring, marking tools, pens and pencils, measuring devices, maybe some kind of clamping devices to hold things together if you don't have enough fingers to do that, and decorating tools like colored pencils, pens, even different kinds of paints. You're also going to need something to cut on. Maybe a piece of plywood, or a kitchen cutting board. Do not cut on your parents' dining room table or floor. So some of the glues and adhesives that you might want to use are your regular wood glue or white glue or craft glue that you're going to have around your house or in the garage, a glue stick that you might be used to from school. But the best thing to use, what we're going to use today because it's the fastest and doesn't take as much time to dry, is hot glue. And you'll see that that works really well. Well, let's get started. First thing is I'm going to put my cutting board under my cardboard. And we're going to start with the turrets. And we're going to use the box knife or razor knife to cut with, and a black Sharpie marker to mark with. Always make sure that you close the knife when you're not using it for safety. And the turrets are 11.5 inches tall, and they're 11 inches in circumference. And these are just my measurements for this model. You can make them as large as you want or as small as you want. So we're going to start by marking the 11 inches. Using the straight edge. You can cut the cardboard all the way through, or you can cut it part of the way through and bend it. And then we're going to measure the 11-inch side, cut it, as you can see, on these front turrets, there's drawbridge doors. So we're going to take and mark a 2-inch square in the center. So the center is 5.5 inches. We're going to mark a 2-inch square. Two things I want to point out. One is, I never put the knife, my hand behind the knife, always put my hand in front of the knife for safety. And the orientation of the cardboard, as you can see, is so that the turret will turn, will bend. The top of the turret, the little capitals, I've marked as 1-inch squares. So my yardstick's 1 inch, and I make a 1-inch line, and then every inch I make another mark. So another thing that I discovered was that when you're going to make your turret, it needs to be an odd number for the width. So then that way, as you mark the capitals, you get 2 ends that are empty, so they'll overlap in order to glue them together. You'll see when we go to glue them together. So then what I did is, just gonna cut the capitals out of the way. Also what I did is I just used these cutouts for my windows. So I just used these cutouts and traced the windows out. So now it's still flat, and if you're going to decorate it, like if you're going to do bricks or rocks, or you're going to color it or paint on it, this is a good time to do it before it becomes round. It's a little bit easier to do that. So in order to get it to bend into the curve that we want, because we have the orientation of the cardboard going in the right direction, all we have to do is start slowly bending the cardboard in the direction that we want it. So the cardboard that we're going to be using is 34 inches by 24 inches. And one of the important things that you need to know is about corrugation, and that cardboard runs in one direction. And we're going to be bending the cardboard in order to make the turrets. So you can see in one direction, it's really easy to bend. But in the other direction, it's almost impossible to bend. It's a lot harder, and it doesn't bend as smooth. In this direction, it bends nice and smooth. Another way to make bending cardboard easier is to spray it with a little bit of water, not a lot, on both sides, and then let it sit and soak in. And that'll allow the paper to soften up so that it'll bend a little bit easier. And you're basically breaking the paper, or loosening the paper on the inside of the curve. Use your thumbs and your forefingers just to break the inside of the paper. As we said earlier, you can spray this with water to make it a little bit easier. Then what I did is I just rolled it on itself as tight as I could and let it open up. And as you see, that's where that overlap comes into place. So now what we're going to do is take hot glue. We're going to place hot glue in this tab, roll it over, hold it for a few seconds until it sets up. And we're going to cut a couple of these in half. Put a little hot glue on it. Place it next to the window. Like that. We save the cutout to use as our drawbridge or a door. And there's our first turret. Well, in order to save time, I didn't show building all 4 turrets, so I built all 4 turrets for you here. And now we're going to move into cutting and building the walls. The walls are 8 inches tall by 10 inches wide. So we're going to mark those on our cardboard. Another technique for cutting cardboard is to score one side, fold it over, and just trim off the back side. So now we have 2 walls that are 8 inches tall, 10 inches wide, and we're going to have to score the edges so that we can make a fold in order to glue the wall to the turret. And to do that, we're going to use the back side of that butter knife, or even the back side of a pair of scissors that's blunt or dull. And all we're going to do is run it across it a couple times in order to compress the corrugations. And we're not cutting through the cardboard, we're just making a score or a crease in it. And that's going to let us bend the cardboard easily so that we can make these little glue tabs, someplace to glue the walls to the turrets. So now I have the wall just 9 inches wide with little 1/2 inch tabs on either side. And that's our wall that's going to glue to the turret. This is another good time to do any decorations that you want to do. So on these walls, I'm just going to glue on some of these cutouts that we used just as windows. You can paint it, you can decorate it, you can draw other bricks or stones or anything that you want on your walls. Okay, everybody, so now we have our 4 turrets built, our 2 front turrets and our 2 rear turrets, and we have our 4 walls built to fit in between the turrets. So I'm going to set these aside. And we're going to glue some turrets together with the walls. So we have those glue tabs that we made in our hot glue gun. Just going to put a bead of hot glue on there and just glue it to the turret. Once that holds, I'll put another bead of glue on this one and glue it to the turret. Once these have all set up, then we'll glue the rest of them together and we'll have the 4 walls and 4 turrets of the castle. And we're going to cut our roof pieces. Those are cut out of the scrap. Those are cut out of the scrap that we had. And these are going to be 2 inches for those roof pieces. So you're going to measure 2 inches. So with our hot glue gun, I'm just going to put a bead of hot glue on the top of the roof. Doesn't take a lot. And then just set the roof about halfway with a little bit of an angle and hold it until it sets up. with roofs on there. Okay, now we've put our we've attached our turrets to our walls and our roofs to our walls. We're going to take the leftover piece of cardboard and we're going to make that our base. And the easiest way to attach the castle to the base is with the glue gun again. And you're just going to use some small globs of glue in corners and hold it until it sets up. You can do this on the inside of the castle as well as the outside, but I'm showing you the outside so you get the idea. And you can do those globs anywhere you need to secure it to the base. I've also used the cutouts for the drawbridges. And I've taken some little strips of cardboard to make drawbridge chains. And I just take a little bit of glue on the strip of cardboard paper that you could use pieces of string, you could use yarn, but I had the cardboard handy, so this is what I used. Also, our flags can just be cut from a piece of the cardboard. I've also made a tree, which basically I outline like a Christmas tree style. This is the easiest one to do. With a trunk. And always remember to give yourself a glue tab for things like this. And the glue tab, if you bend it back, will give you a base to put glue on and stick to the front of your castle. Those are also easier to decorate when they're flat before you glue it together. There's your castle. Okay everyone, now that we've created our basic cardboard castle, the one that I made at home and the one that we made today, you can be as creative as possible to do anything you want, to decorate your castle the way you want it, to make it as big as you want it, to add moats, add more bushes, add more trees, add trains, add people, anything that you want to do to make your castle your castle. You can get a hold of us at the Main Shop Malala on our Facebook page and ask for me to either deliver to you or meet me someplace to pick up your cardboard free of charge so that you can make your own cardboard castle at home. And then all we ask is that you post pictures of your cardboard castle to our Facebook page at the Main Shop Malala. And have as much fun as you can doing this. Enjoy it with your brothers and sisters, with your parents, maybe your grandparents. Thank you very much.
Thank you for spending time with Welcome Malala. We hope you enjoyed this episode and that you will come back for more and share with your friends.